So, small apologies to the older subscribers. It's taking a while, but we are getting back to quote normal reviews of fantasy content. So let us get right to it. Uh um well, I guess we should start off. If you are gonna see Peacemaker episodes 1 to 2, do not see any of the trailers. I was shocked how much the Peacemaker trailer really spoiled way too much of the first couple episodes. And they're fairly weak because they only basically set up the main story. So if you don't know anything about Peacemaker, you're just jumping in. They are critical, but if you've seen season 1, yeah, we're just getting familiar with the characters again, and we're going through some awful jokes. That is about it. That is about it. So, what is the situation? Well, without spoiling anything, because there's no spoiler review, I guess it's really two things. One is Peacemaker is coping with depression, and that leads to the other major plot, at least in the first couple episodes, the portals. So he discovers a portal to an alternative universe, and there he has a much better life. So a lot of the conflict in the first couple episodes is, should he keep going back to the alternative universe and basically live out this fantasy of a better life, or should he stay at home and be miserable? Well, right, even without spoiling anything, we know what's going to happen, right? For the season to really develop, yeah, he's going to stay in the alternative universe. So, yeah. And again, I don't mind a slow start, but James Gunn is not Kubrick. So, like Barry Lyndon takes a while to really get going. I mean, arguably like an hour. So the running time for the first two episodes is a little deceptive because once we exclude the cameos, I won't spoil them, although they're pretty obvious. Yeah, I don't understand why you could not have condensed things much further, but there you go. So finally, the plot really kicks into episodes 3 and 4, and they are well done. They're well done. Although my scores for these episodes will probably be very harsh, I am still a little puzzled about the avenue of attack, right? In other words, and again, I can't say much more because that would spoil the plot, but like Peacemaker is awfully naive, right? Like he does certain things in episodes 2 and 3, which are right. That's in character. He's extremely violent, extremely brutal, kills a ton of people. But you're like, I understand why you did that. What I don't understand is why you don't have more questions. Like there's a really fun, interesting philosophical dialogue he has in episode 4. I know, philosophical dialogue. Well, there you go. Where he tries to convince other people who he lets in on his secret about the portals and is like, well, maybe I was always meant to be in the alternative universe, and the guy in the alternative universe was meant to be here. I was always meant to be happy. And there you go. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting debate about cosmic fate, right? The multiverse and so on and so forth. But it all feels a little bit too constructed. So I'm gonna get blunt. So the first season of Peacemaker, which was very mixed, and they did change a lot from the comics, felt like Gunn was really trying to make this all work cohesively. Now, things happened which were out of his control to change the DCU, but it doesn't feel like this is really flowing from season 1. If anything, it just feels repetitive. It feels like we're taking a lot of season 1 and doing it all over again, but slightly differently, if that makes any sense. And it's just not done as well, right? The jokes were extremely chaotic and the level of quality. Some of them were very funny. They were. And it just feels way more forced than the first season. Like, in addition to the portal plot and the depression plot, there's also a plot of revenge by a major character. Now, this was given away in Superman. So, again, I have to spoil a little bit of Superman, but basically, the government has reasons to not like Peacemaker, even though he basically did a lot for them. And that's going to motivate other characters to do certain things. So you're like, okay, I mean, I get it, but this is really derivative of Superman, right? And again, again, big warning. If you want to see Superman stuff, that's barely in the first 4 episodes. It will come later. So I guess what I'm coming to is these first 4 episodes really don't seem that essential. They really could have been condensed into one strong episode, maybe a long episode, like an hour episode, and then, a few threads could have been done in episode 2. So the wheel's spinning here. I don't know. It just feels not essential. And again, no spoiler, but we got to talk about this is that, James Gunn has his wife as a major character in this story. So it just feels like we're manufacturing plots to give the Gunn family jobs. And it's just like, okay, I get it. That's a brutal reality of Hollywood. Spouses, your family, you're going to put them in roles. But this is a far cry from Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon did the same thing, but with Buffy and Angel and Firefly, it didn't feel as forced or coerced. And that's a good example because Firefly had an excellent first season. We'll never know what happened with season 2 because, Fox destroyed that show. But yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like um a major disappointment from season 1. That said, these were decent episodes. There are some good jokes. The visual effects are actually pretty strong, and the cinematography is really strong. I mean, these are very good looking episodes. I was actually shocked there because James Gunn with Superman didn't seem to really care about the cinematography. So they at least maintained a lot of quality with these episodes. That said, the performances were way more erratic. Some of that is with the nature of the characters, so I can't spoil that. But I'm going to be a little severe. I will say episode 1 had a lot of good Easter eggs. If you really love comic books, there's a lot of great Easter eggs. So I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. But episodes 2 and 3, I'll have to give a 6 out of 10. And then it started to get better with episode 4, which goes bat crazy. That's a 6.5. But again, all these episodes feel like a prelude to the real story. So, was it a waste of time? No, I don't think so. And I respect James Gunn as an artist, so I'd have to tell you, please see episodes 1 to 2. But I'm not gonna lie, you could pretty much just get away with seeing the end of episode 2 and just get right to episodes 3 and 4. And there you go. So I think if you make 2 entire episodes that really didn't even need to exist, something's not right. Something's not right. With Peacemaker season 1, it really felt essential. You have to go through each episode because it really showed huge progression of characters, right? Whereas here, we're wasting a lot of time. Hopefully, this is all setting up some big twists. And I was spoiled in the twist, so please, in the comment section, don't spoil it. I think the way they set up was pretty good, but when we get to the twists, especially one twist, you're like, yeah, that seemed fairly obvious, and it just diminishes the character. Like Peacemaker's not a stupid character, so you're like, really? You didn't notice certain things? Really? How thick are you? I mean, it's just, again, it's not character assassination. It's not Game of Thrones season 8, but we're down the road. We're going down the road, and it just didn't seem necessary, in my humble opinion. So, good, solid episodes, above average, but not great episodes. And there we are. Peacemaker, episodes 1 to 2, season 2. Episodes 1 to 4, season 2. Decent, but they could be a lot better.